Cricket is where we bowl off. Vice-captain Jermaine Blackwood and Nkrumah Bonner are the only Jamaicans in the West Indies Test squad for the upcoming series against Australia.
With John Campbell, who was provisionally selected, being replaced by Guyanese Tejaran Chanderpaul after his 4-year doping violation ban, it means that only 2 Jamaicans will make the tour down under. Jermaine Blackwood and Nkrumah Bonner are the ones making the trip, which should see a return for Leeward Island spinner Rakeem Cornwall, as the core of the squad is made up of players who were part of the setup that defeated Bangladesh 2-0 in the Caribbean earlier this year. Regional commentator Vernon Springer is happy to see the return of Cornwall to the fold after taking 34 wickets in 9 tests.
I think he's going to have a real holding role in Australia, because being the lone spinner in this squad, it now means that he's now going to be more or less acting as a batting all-rounder. He has the capability, and so I think he sees he needs to grasp this with his life. And to be able to understand that the wickets in Australia, I think, will suit Cornwall's bowling, because he's a tall guy, and so he will get bunks.
Another Leeward Islands player, Devon Thomas, who has 21 ODIs and 11 T20 internationals, is a backup wicketkeeper to Joshua De Silva. The rest of the squad sees Craig Brathwaite as captain, Shamar Brooks, Jason Holder, Jaden Seals, Raymond Reefer, Anderson Phillip, Kyle Mears and Alzari Joseph. Springer adds that the test team is a completely different unit from the white ball setup.
The head coach of the West Indies team, Phil Simmons, would have lost the dressing room of the white ball team. That seemed to be a radical unit. He was able to build a unit around Craig Brathwaite and the test team, and at home they have done well. This is now going to be their real test.
And even as outgoing coach, Phil Simmons has been commended for his decision to resign after the underwhelming T20 World Cup performance in Australia. Springer says there should be more casualties.
Phil Simmons, Robert Haynes, Jimmy Adams, Desmond Haynes and Nicholas Poran picked the T20 squad to go to the World Cup. You fail on accountability. The person who is top, which is the head coach, when he goes, everybody goes. And that is just my philosophy. If you look around at world sports, if you look around at professional sports, that is what happens in the English Premier League. That is what happens, even in Australia.
The Windies will play a 4-day warm-up match before the 2 tests, which begins on November 29 in Perth, before a day-night test in Adelaide. Jerome Foster, TVJ Sports.